Hey guys, it's Jessica from craftedandstampin.blogspot.com, and today I wanted to show you a card that I made with my Dottie For You paper that I'm having a blast playing with. It's called a 3D box card, I believe. I've been seeing it all over the internet lately, and I believe the person I saw it on was Dawn from DawnStampingThoughts.net, I believe. I definitely want to make sure I give her credit. And I watched her make it and I thought it was fantastic. I loved the idea behind it. The problem is that now that I am a Stampin' Up! Consultant, I don't have the punches that she had. But I do have something better. I have art philosophy. Everything that she did, I can do with this cartridge. Don't need a punch. I don't need millions of punches. Once I have this, this is my punches right here. So I knew I wanted to try and make this card with this in the center. And I found a way to do it. What I did was, I'm going to show you how I initially made it. I took a piece of crappy paper that I didn't mind using or messing up or whatnot. And I don't mean to say crappy, but you know what I mean. It's not my close to my heart paper that I'm going to mess up. And what I wound up doing was I took my scoreboard and I scored at a 1/2 inch, 4 inch, oops, wait a second. I'm sorry, I did it backwards. I scored it at a 1/2 inch, 4 inch, 4 1/2, and 8 inches. Now don't mind over here, I ripped it. When I ripped this card open that I wanted to show you, I kind of ripped it a little bit, so I just taped up the inside. And what I did was to get the window, because that's what we need for this to work the way that it should, I was messing around with it and I had found out that if I measured down 1 1/2 inches and in from your 1/2 inch score line here, if I go in 1 3/4 inches and do center point with and this scallop didn't work. What wound up working was a 2-inch circle, which you'll find on page 21. Let's get to it. I'll show you where it is. This circle. So no shift button. You're going to hit this circle. You're going to make sure your center point's on, and you're going to make sure that you go down 1 1/2 inches and over, once again, from the 1/2 inch score line that you make on this side, you're going to go over 1 3/4 inches, and you're going to do center point from that point and make your 2-inch circle. To get the, I had done this frame, I think, which didn't even line up right. That's where I decided I needed an actual circle and not a scale up in here. I needed a circle. You are going to do the circle number 2 layer, which is on page 31. So you're going to hit no shift. You're going to hit the layer feature, and then you're going to hit the one that says circle 2. So you actually just get this layer, which will be around it, which I have right here. And that was done at 2 3/4 to make it go perfectly around. I have a little bit that I was off, but my glue had already set. Also, what else I did for this card, I had noticed that they had that those particular demonstrators have scallop punches. I don't need a scallop punch. Once again, I have my art philosophy cartridge, and I also have the ability to make my scallops bigger. So what I went up doing was going to page 65 in the border section, and where's it at? I used this border, which is the shift key. So you're going to find this pattern, okay, which if you look at your little, if you look at the overlay, yeah, it's telling you it's down here. You are going to hit the shift font key and you'll get this border come out. I cut this out at, I believe, it was done at 1 inch actually. That was 1 inch because it goes 1 inches high, not wide. And it wound up making not 3 but 4 scallops, and I just clipped one off to use to my liking. And the other thing that I did was the banner on page 68 to give these, and that banner's right here. So it's no shift, it's just hitting this button So if you hit the banner button, I printed these out. They are at 2 3/4 inches and they are at length. They look a little short because I have it hidden underneath my scallop here. Okay, and the last thing that I did was I had printed out this flower at 5 inches. Now I will say I did make a little mess up there and I didn't realize it until I had already started gluing. I wanted this side. Can you see this? I wanted this side to show. So I just kind of messed around with it and I inked up some of my edges, and I had used some silver glitter to kind of glitter it up a little bit. And then what I did was I had adhered everything on the inside first. So let's go back to this so you understand what I'm saying. I had adhered to my middle section here. So this was the section that we scored from 4 1/4, between 4 1/2 and 8. We're working in here. You have to do this before you can put your card together. You have to do this part. What I did was I had punched out, or not punched out rather, I had cut out. It is a 2 1/4 inch circle behind here, and then 2 1/2 inch circle underneath that, which you really can't see. Can you see that there? Oh yeah, you can see it. You see my white and then the red and then another white, and that little white was actually, oh god, I went out of focus. That little white there was at 1 3/4. And then I took the celebration stamps that came with my Art Philosophy cartridge when I bought it. And I had used the Celebrate stamp that was in the one set, which is in the one set. It's right there. And then I had taken the Joy stamp. That was what else I used for the front, which is right here. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean Love, not Joy. I took Love, and I used Love on the front, and I used Celebrate on the inside. But before I did that, I did take my Cocoa ink pad and a sponge dauber, and I'm sure you can see that there is some brown, some cocoa put around here, and I also did it around the white in here, which you can see now. I also took the cocoa and put it all around here and here, and I even did a little bit around the edges of my flower. I also took Lagoon and stamped Celebrate inside here. I tried to center it, and then once I was all done doing that, I started working on the front of my card. Like I said, these were cut at 2 3/4. They are actually right to the tip of the edge of this border here underneath. And I started with putting the middle one down first, and I put the middle right directly in the middle of this, and that's how I knew how I wanted to space these. And I just moved it up a bit. After I put everything here, with the exception of my flower, I took my red line tape, my double-sided tape, whatever you want to call it, score tape. I took this and I had put it right to, if you have your paper opened up or your base opened up, it is the it's at the 8-inch score line. You're going to turn your card like this, and you're going to put your score tape right here. After you do that, you're going to take the card, and how I did it was I lined it up at my 4 1/2 inch score line. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that isn't 4 1/2 inches. I'm sorry. That is my 4-inch. That's my 8-inch score line. I'm so sorry. My 8-inch score line right here. And I took the paper and I pushed it up and made sure that everything was flush with there, and then I adhered it. And then once I adhered it, the card actually will fold flat. Now this card isn't folding flat because, like I said, I had to take it apart to show. But this card, as you can see, will fold flat, with the exception of my popped up flower. So, very simple, very easy. I did not want to do it on camera since I made a 32-minute video yesterday. But I just wanted you to see this and show you that we can do anything. We don't need to have punches with Close to My Heart because we have Art Philosophy, which does everything that we need it to do. So make sure you reach out to me. I'm going to put my website address on the bottom of the page. Please make sure you shop my Close to My Heart store. Also make sure you check out my blog, www.craftedandstampin.blogspot.com, and it will have all the information. Also make sure you check out my blog on Thursday. So actually I'm lying. My 32-minute video is going to be tomorrow because it's going to be on Thursday. But I am going to have a giveaway for a little stamp set that I use in the card. So thank you so much for watching. Have a good night. And like I said, don't forget to check out my blog, www.craftedandstampin.blogspot.com. Bye.